practice management. That's why. As you know, FAER's mission is to promote science in anesthesia, advancing medicine for the sake of our patients. So the ultimate goal, of course, is improving outcomes. We can do that clinically, we can do that economically, and we can do that working with our patients. That's the goal. This is broadly how FAER looks at it. We want to invest in primarily young investigators. There is a gap between the time a clinical scientist leaves residency and when they qualify for federal funding or sort of big ticket research support. That's the niche that FAER primarily fills as a means of promoting careers and developing independent scientists. I'm just going to show you some quick examples. Some of them you probably know. Dr. Tufik, a bench scientist working in pain management, funded originally by FAER as a young investigator and now funded by the NIH. Dr. Prakash, a clinical researcher studying mechanisms of lung injury, again funded originally by FAER, now qualified for a KO8 award and funding by the government. One near and dear to my heart, Dr. Catherine Chen at UCSF, funded by FAER as a young investigator and now published in the New England Journal of Medicine, one of the more visible papers in our specialty in the last few years, looking at the use of preoperative testing and consultations in cataract patients. And a current example, Dr. Mark Newman, a friend and colleague at the University of Pennsylvania, is the lead investigator on the REGAIN trial, comparing general anesthesia to spinal anesthesia in hip fracture patients. Many of you may be participating in this trial. It's one of the largest clinical research trials organized in the specialty of anesthesia. My group participates in that, and I am very much looking forward to what it tells us about this important patient population. FAER has awarded more than $36 million in grants since 1986. Many of you probably saw a recent publication in ANA on the, in anesthesiology, on the results of FAER funding over the years. Bottom line, for every dollar we invest in young investigators, it returns more than $17 just in NIH funding alone. 40% of our grantees have gone on to be federally funded researchers. You can see that the total grant amount is in the hundreds of millions, thousands of manuscripts, and hundreds of thousands of citations. Here are some of the recently funded FAER awards. And our mission, to develop our next generation of physician scientists in anesthesiology. The FAER